I want to start off with something honest. How many times have you said, I just don't have time? Time to garden, time to get organized, time to cook from scratch, time to budget, time to clean, time to do anything. And we say it like it's a problem, but what if time isn't actually the problem? What if the real problem is that everything in your life requires decision making? Because here's what I've learned. When your day has no structure, every task feels heavy. You wake up and think, what needs done? Where do I start? What's most important? Do I have to do it? Can it wait? And before you even begin, you're already tired. That's not a time issue. That's a systems issue. Let me tell you something I had to learn the hard way. There was a season in my life where my entire goal was just to get everyone dressed, get everyone fed, get everyone to school, and get myself to work on time. That was it. Homesteading was a way far off dream, like impossible. No way I could do it. Budgeting, no idea who she was. And cooking from scratch was just unrealistic working full time. I didn't need more hours. I needed structure. I still work full time and I cook from scratch all the time now. But back then, I didn't know that yet. So I just kept thinking, maybe when life slows down. Life doesn't slow down. You build systems so it doesn't have to. If something keeps happening in your life, it's not because you don't care. It's because you don't have systems in place. Let's talk about a garden. People will say, I don't have time to garden. But what's really happening is they don't have a daily rhythm tied to it. So it becomes a big project. And big projects require motivation. But habits require almost none. What if instead of garden on Saturday, it became 5 minutes in the garden every evening after dinner? That's a system. That's a habit. It's small. It's repeatable. There's no pressure. Slow pressure. And that's how food grows, not in big bursts, in a rhythm. It's the same with money. People say, I don't have time to budget, but budgeting feels big because it has no system. If money only gets looked at during stress, it becomes emotional. But if you have a weekly 10-minute check-in, same day, same time, same format, it's no longer emotional and it's no longer dramatic. It just becomes maintenance. That's the difference between chaos and calm. Is structure. It's the same with animals. You can't wake up every morning thinking, how should I do chores today? That's exhausting. When feed is stored in the same place, when water is checked at the same time, when routines are consistent, everything runs on autopilot. Not because you're super disciplined, but because there's systems in place and the habits carry you forward. Here's something most people don't realize. Motivation feels powerful when you have it, but it's unreliable. And I know systems feel boring, but they're so much more powerful. Motivation gets you excited, but systems keep you steady. And steady builds and gets you results. Let's break this down more practically. If you feel like you don't have time, ask, is this task tied to a routine? Is it repeatable? Is it small enough to maintain? Does it require a decision every single time? If the answer to the fourth question is yes, that's your leak. That's your problem. Decision fatigue is a real thing. When everything requires thinking and constant decisions, nothing feels easy. It feels messy. But when habits exist, energy is preserved. You're not using all that mental space to make decisions over and over and over. When you start, you don't have to overhaul your whole life, and you need to be able to anchor your habits. So you want to anchor your habits and make them small, repeatable actions that's tied to something else that already happens, like habit stacking. If you're familiar with the book by James Clear, Atomic Habits, I love this concept, and you always want to start with something small. So let's talk about a cup of coffee or a cup of tea in the morning. You're going to add a small habit to that. So your brain will make a tether in your brain, if you think about it, like a little rope. So every time you go to make a cup of coffee or your tea, that rope is going to tug on you, being like, oh yeah, don't forget to do this other thing. And that's how you can create and stack habits. And after so long, it just becomes natural. So every morning when I make my cup of coffee, I go outside to the greenhouse and water my plants. Every evening after I'm done with dishes, you load the dishwasher, you clean up, you link the two things together, and it makes it a lot easier to accomplish said new habit. It makes it so you don't forget about it because you're already doing the other habit, and it helps you slowly start building systems in a sustainable way and then you'll build momentum and want to keep going. And you start small and you just slowly keep adding to it. You don't want to overhaul your life all overnight, because then nothing will stick. Start with one thing, do it for a couple weeks, and then you can improve on that one thing. So instead of adding more habits, just improve on it. Maybe that's spending 10 minutes instead of 5 minutes cleaning up the kitchen. And it's all about that 1% increase to make these systems sustainable and work long-term for you and your homestead. This is why mindset matters more than people think, because most people are waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel disciplined, waiting to feel organized, waiting to feel motivated. But readiness doesn't create systems. Systems create readiness. When you have structure, you will feel more capable, not the other way around. And this is honestly why I created my mindset course, because I kept seeing people who wanted to change, but they were trying to force motivation instead of build systems. They were waiting for time instead of building habits. And the course isn't about hype. It's about rewiring how you approach daily life. It's about starting small, building anchors, reducing decision fatigue, creating repeatable rhythms, because once structure exists, progress happens even when you don't feel like it. Let me slow this down. You don't need more hours, more energy, more motivation, more discipline. You need fewer decisions, clearer rhythms, repeatable habits, and simple systems. That's it. If you feel stuck right now, pick one thing, not 5. 1. Tie it to something that already happens daily. Make it small. Make it repeatable, and let that build traction, because traction will build confidence. Confidence builds momentum, and momentum builds change. You don't need more time. You need better systems. And better systems start small. Now, if this resonated with you guys, give this video a like and tell me in the comments, what is one thing in your life that keeps getting pushed off? Let's turn it into a system. And if you're ready to build those systems intentionally, my mindset course is linked down below. It's not about perfection, it's about structure, and a structure can change everything. I will see you guys in the next one.